Hello, and welcome to the webinar version of the Amazing Race 2014 training covering technology. My name is Phil Jaramita. I'm the Give Richmond coordinator at the Community Foundation, and I'm here with Kim Russell, the VP of Communications, and we're going to talk about what's new this year. This year represents the second annual Amazing Race 5K at the Boulders Office Park. It is the day before the event, Tuesday, September 16th, from 6 to 8:30. We invite all of you to come. Online registration is open through the 11th, and walk-up registration is open during packet pickup times and the day of the event. The Amazing Race 2014 is the fourth annual online giving event for RVA. It begins September 17th at 6 a.m. and goes through September 18th at 6 p.m. The URL for the event is theamazingrace.org. Over the past 3 years, the event has generated over $3.3 million for local nonprofits. Our goal this year is to raise over $2 million for area nonprofits. When speaking with your donors, any last-minute tips you might want to give to them is to reinforce the time and place of the event. TheAmazingRace.org is the URL to share. This is an online-only event consisting of credit and debit card gifts only, no cash or checks. If you have a link to your Give Richmond portrait on your webpage, you may consider replacing it with a link to your donation page on the Amazing Race website. Similarly, if you have your own online giving on your website, you may consider disabling it or at least putting a note there that lets people know how to give to you for the Amazing Race. As we get closer to the event, it's a great time to be stepping up your presence on social media and outreach to donors generally. I'll go over a brief timeline of the event. The nonprofit information has been loaded to the leaderboard. On September 10th, an email goes out that has a link to the donation report for each organization and an HTML code where the donation form can be embedded on your own website. On Give Richmond, between September 15th and 21st, we will disable the Donate Now feature, and GiveRichmond.org itself will be redirected to theamazingrace.org. The week of the event, September 16th, Tuesday, 6 p.m. is the Amazing Race 5K here at the Boulders. It's a great event that includes food trucks, a band, things for families and children to do. So even if you're not running, we encourage you to come out. Wednesday the 17th, 6 a.m. is game time. That's when we get started, of course. Keep your supporters updated on your goals, drink lots of coffee, and refresh your screen. September 18th, we'll have a countdown celebration at Hardywood Park Craft Brewery starting at 4:30 to 6:30. It's an event for everyone, so we encourage you to invite friends and families. It is Thursday night, so that's a food truck night at Hardywood, so there'll be plenty of opportunity and activities there, and we look forward to seeing you. We will also have iPads there so that donations can be made between 4:30 and when the event ends at 6 p.m. For the week after the event, September 23rd, we'll release a survey to nonprofits and donors requesting your feedback. Funds will be distributed first on October 1st, which will include a check of all the donations net of fees. October 15th, we'll see checks for any grant prizes that were won or any 5K rebates. Those will come on or around October 15th. This is the second annual Amazing Race 5K. It's the day before the event starts, kicking off 3 days of celebrating and elevating our local nonprofits. The new feature for the 5K this year is rebates for teams of 10 or more. A $5 per person rebate goes to the selected charity of the team, and it's a great way for some direct support from the 5K to participating organizations. There are many prizes for the 5K. We've already awarded one for t-shirt design. We love the design and we're looking forward to that. There are also prizes for creative team names and costumes, many prizes that do not require running. This year's the fourth annual Amazing Race. We have over 600 nonprofits participating and incentive prizes totaling $180,000. This year, there are grand prizes for small and large organizations, which includes 6 grand prize winners total. A large organization has total revenues of $1 million or more, and a small organization is less than $1 million. Another new prize this year is the Second Chance Early Bird. The Early Bird is obviously a very popular prize, and we wanted to capitalize on that popularity. So day 2, 8 a.m., Second Chance Early Bird. We're looking for 25 donors of $50 or more, unique donors. There's more information about all the prizes on the website, theamazingrace.org, under the prize tab. There's also a Selfies for Good challenge sponsored by Sarah Milson of the Spark Mill, and it's a great way to expand the event, get it out to as many people as possible using Twitter and Instagram. Also new is Nifty 50 for the organization that receives donations from the most states. We've seen over the years that this event brings donations from all over the country and all over the world, and we're trying to capitalize on that with that gift, with that prize. The new URL this year, theamazingrace.org. You'll hear us say it a lot. That's where everyone needs to go. As I mentioned, giverichmond.org will redirect. The website was launched on August 1st, which was the earliest we were able to get it up. We had many of the prizes, rules, and a lot of other information there. We're happy to be able to get it out in the public a little earlier. There are some new features this year, including a multi-give option on the home page. This is a feature donors have been asking about for a long time, and this will allow them to give up to 10 different organizations by only entering their information once. Again, it's on the home page. Also on the home page is the ability for a donor to request a receipt during the event with their email address. Previously, this was a feature that was only offered after the event, so we're happy that it's something that can be accessed right away. Also new is our countdown celebration at Hardywood. We really hope to see all of you there. And now I'll let Kim talk about the home page.
Okay, well, as Phil mentioned, there are a couple of new features that may be of interest to you and or your donors. There is the multi-give option right there, the first thing you see on the home page. I'll take you to a direct view of that in just a moment. Well, actually, we'll just do that right now. Here we go. On the home page, the very first thing, as you see here, is the ability to enter your organization. So I'm just going to show that. As in years past, the more that you type, the fewer options you have, making it easier to narrow in on the organization you're looking for. In the next field over, you're going to enter your dollar amount. Let's say it was a $50 gift. You can either enter 50 or 50.00. And then there's also the opportunity for a donor to let you know whether they're a first-time donor to your organization by checking this box. If I wanted a second organization, the second line automatically appears. And I'm just going to randomly choose Richmond 2015. We'll do 25 this time for no specific reason. And what I want to show you here is that there's a running total here at the bottom, which is helpful because there's not an automatic decimal point. And so this gives donors a chance to just double check that the amount seems accurate. We have had a few cases where people add a few extra zeros on accident and then give a larger donation than they intend. So this is just a double check. As you can see, a third line appears. It will go on for 10 different organizations in one transaction, or one hit of the submission button. I'll show you down below. This is once they've entered the organizations and the dollars amount for each up above, a donor will enter their personal information below just one time and hit the submit button, and all the donations above will go through. They should receive automatic email text receipts to the email that they entered here in the donation form almost immediately. However, one thing to note is that while the function of multi-give allows you to do all of that with one hit of the submit button, they will actually get separate email receipts for each of those donations. That helps with our prize structure, since many of the prizes are awarded to donations that hit at a specific time. So the one that is closest is the one that will win the prize. So that's something to take note of. Also, you'll see here on the right, there's the opportunity to look for an organization by category. And then just below that is where a donor might come if they did not receive their receipt quickly, and it's been a few minutes and they're getting nervous. They can actually come back here to the home page on the right-hand side, enter their email address, and it should recall their donation and send them a receipt. Many of the common problems for why a receipt would not come through is either it's being blocked by spam filters, or they've entered the email address incorrectly. So I would first, if a donor contacts you directly, I would encourage them to first check their junk mail folders or spam folders to see if it's there. If it's not there, they can come here and enter their email address. And if that still doesn't work, ask them to please call us at the Community Foundation. We can look up their donation using their confirmation number and send a copy to them that way. Another page that we would like to show you is our leaderboard. Actually, I'm going to take you over to that was a preview site. I'm going to take you up to the actual leaderboard that's live today. You'll see here a list of all organizations listed alphabetically. They will be listed alphabetically until the event begins, and at that point, they will default to the total number of gifts. So the organizations with the largest number of gifts will be at the top of the leaderboard. So that's important to know. If you would like to change back to view them alphabetically, you can just hit this header and it will resort it for you. You'll see that also this year we have separate leaderboards for large organizations and small organizations. This is again to give you an idea of the organizations that are leading for the grand prizes. There's also a tab for prizes that have been awarded. As of today, 2 prizes have already been awarded, so they're marked here. As additional prizes are announced, they will appear here as well. So let me go back to the organization list for just a second and also let you know that this column for total gifts in years past has only shown the number of gifts that were unique gifts of $50 or more. This year, it will show a true total number of gifts, regardless of size or uniqueness. This is to match better with the, up here during the event, the countdown clock will go away, and there will be an overall gift tracker showing the total number of gifts and the dollars raised for the entire event. The leaderboard and the gift tracker will be in sync. So what that means for those of you who are pursuing the grand prizes that are based on unique gifts of $50 or more, we will be emailing the top 10 for both large and small organizations periodically throughout the event to let you know of your standing. That will be on a 3-hour cycle for a good portion of the event, and then on an hourly basis in the last few hours of the event. And then finally, this is also where you would go and find your own donation page. So if you're 1708 Gallery, you would click on your name here, and it would take you to your donation page for the event. So you'll see that the donation form isn't here yet. That will only appear at 6 a.m. on September 17th, as the note says here. On the right-hand side is your information. Every organization, as long as they have all these things loaded into their Give Richmond portrait, that's where all this information came from, will be a logo, your contact information, including your website and your social media links. This description area is defaulting to your mission statement as seen on your Give Richmond portrait. and finally a link to your Give Richmond portrait if a donor would like to learn more. The other thing to see here on a donation page is up at the top in the address bar, you can copy this link. This is your individual link to your donation page and one that you can share with your supporters in emails, social media, and it would take them directly to your donation page. So that's where you would find that. And going back to our PowerPoint here, there are a few ways to send people to the site to make their giving experience as quick and easy as possible. And you have a few options. The first is to send them directly to theamazingraise.org. That will take them to the home page of the event site, and that's where they would find that multi-give function where they could give up to 10 organizations at once. This is a no-fail method. It's up and running. The site is live today. The form will appear at 6 a.m. on the 17th. You can share it now in your communications, and it will take them to a place that is clearly marked The Amazing Raise and gives them all the information they need leading up to the event. Also, if you share this particular URL, then I would encourage you to also add and emphasize the name of your organization with its correct spelling to try to avoid any possible errors. Your second option is to share that direct link to your organization's donation page. So again, you would go to the leaderboard, find your name, click on it. It'll take you to your personal organization donation page, and you would cut and paste the URL from there. The obvious advantage to this option is that your supporters will see your organization first thing. And then lastly, you could choose to embed the Amazing Raise donation form on your own website. This is something that on September 10th you'll receive a code in an email from Spill to your organization's primary contact. It will include an HTML code that you can cut and paste into your website, and we'll review that in just a moment. All of these donation forms are secure, even if your web page isn't. And that's something to assure your donors that their donations will be secure to the highest security level available for internet transactions. And also, you maintain your branding throughout the giving process. If your donors are used to going to your website, it's going to be branded to you. They don't even have to go to the Amazing Raise event site if you do it this way. When you receive your email with your embed code, it will look like this text that's in red. It's a little crazy looking. That's because it's in HTML, which is common code language for websites. If you are not the person who works on your organization's website, then please send these directions to the person that does, although I have a feeling they would have a little bit better understanding of it. But basically, you're going to take this script, go into the administrative side of your website, and flip to the HTML view, where everything looks a little like this. And you're going to copy and paste this into the portion of the page where you want it to appear. And let me just show you a sample of that. This is from a couple of years ago, but it does give you the sense that the page is obviously branded to the organization. The form was placed right here in the middle of the page where it's easy to see. You can add additional information above, below, or beside the form to provide a little bit more context about your Amazing Raise campaign, whether it be the goals that you're shooting for or a certain project that you're raising money to support through the Amazing Raise. So this is a good choice for some organizations. Moving on to your donation reports, this is the way that you will know who has given to your organization throughout the event. In the same email that will include that embedded donation form code will also include a customized link for your organization to access its donation report. The report will include all the information that you would need to thank a donor. That's their name, their email, their mailing address. And just a note on that is, please note that every donation that comes through the Amazing Raise is a donation to the Community Foundation, but designated for your organization. So while we encourage you to thank your donors, please do not send them tax receipts or any tax language. So again, your report includes their personal contact information, as long as they have not chosen to remain anonymous. It will also include gross donation amounts, which you cannot see here, but it will be in a column to the right. So this is gross donation amounts. It does not include the fees that we'll talk about in just a moment. It will also show you where they accessed your donation form. So it will show you whether they went directly to the Amazing Raise site or to your specific page or to another website where the donation form was embedded. So it's interesting to keep track of that. I'm just going to escape here, for example, what this year's report will look like, except that this particular report doesn't show the amount, and yours will. You'll see that you'll have reference of when the donor made the gift, on what date and time. There is a confirmation code, which can be helpful if there's been an error in processing. We can pull it up and try to fix that quickly. If they're anonymous, this is where you'll see that it's posted as anonymous, and you will not see their personal mailing address. And then here on the right is where, if a donor indicated they're a first-time donor to your organization, if they did that, then it will show up as true. Otherwise, it will be blank. And then on the second tab of the spreadsheet is a place for partial refunds. If it's a full refund, let's say a donor made a mistake and accidentally gave to the wrong organization, and they called us and we made a full refund, it would actually be pulled off your donation report altogether. But if they entered an extra zero, let's say, and they entered 250 and they wanted it to be 25, then the donation portion of your report would show just 25, whereas the refund would show 225, as an example. So if you're trying to figure out what your total donations are, you're going to need to look at both tabs of this donation report spreadsheet. Just a couple of troubleshooting tips. If a donor uses GiveRichmond.org or any of its affiliate sites to go to the Amazing Raise, and the reason they would do that is if they've given in years past, we use the GiveRichmond.org URL to get people there. It's changed this year, so if they do have trouble using GiveRichmond.org, even though it's going to redirect, if they use that, it may auto-populate to GiveRichmond.guidestar.org, in which case they'd be taken to the actual site where your portraits live, but the donation function will be disabled, and that could cause some confusion or some frustration. So the first thing to do would just to send them instead to theamazingraise.org. That is the primary URL we're using this year. If they happen to continue to have trouble, then it's always a good tip to ask them to clear their recent history and cookies, and then that should give them the chance to go to a site fresh without any auto-populating. Also, if a donor voices concern that the Community Foundation receives fees from their donation, please assure them that that's not true. The Community Foundation receives no fees, no compensation for this event, and we're pleased to be able to offer it as a public service. Speaking of fees, we'll just go through them one more time, and here's where the fees do go. So for every transaction, 2.99% goes to the website processor. That's Kimbia, which is our technology partner that provides the Amazing Raise platform. It's what allows us to take in so many donations at once without a crashing. So that's important. And then 2.75% goes to the credit card processor, plus a 57-cent flat fee that goes out to the credit card companies like Visa, MasterCard, American Express, and Discover. So for a $50 donation, you will net $46.55. So if you are using your donation report to get an accurate estimate of what to expect in a check from the Community Foundation, then we would encourage you to add columns to where every donation would have these additional fees taken off, and then you'll have a better estimate of what that would be. And then finally, we want to let you know that we are advertising the event in many of the media outlets that are here locally. The 6 that are listed here are our media sponsors. Some of them have also been kind enough to provide some in-kind advertising for us. So in the week leading up to the event is when the Blitz begins. We will be in print, online, on air, and in addition to that, we will be reaching out to all of these media partners, as well as many more locally, spreading from Richmond to the northern neck to the south side, letting them know all the information that's new and interesting this year. But we also encourage you as nonprofits to use your media contacts to share your stories. They always want great examples of good strategies or events that are happening and provide good visuals. We always hear good stories about donors that are inspired by the Amazing Race and they want to be a part of it, and so they may give a bigger gift than normal, or maybe they're giving for the first time in years. So those are the kinds of things that you may want to share in addition to the information that we are sharing. We have an event flyer that we encourage you to distribute in your neighborhood, among friends. It is available on the toolkit. There is a generic one that's ready to go, but then there's also a customizable version where you can add your name and a little bit about your campaign. So we encourage you to use that. In addition, please use the toolkit that's available to you. That's on theamazingrace.org right now under the tab called Nonprofit Information. It's very extensive, more extensive than it's been in any year prior. It includes all kinds of graphics and logos. It includes email templates that you can customize to your audience, cover photos for Facebook and Twitter, and much more. And speaking of Facebook and Twitter, we hope that you are following us there. It is a place that we've been providing updates leading up to the event, and it will certainly be a place where we'll be sharing information throughout the event. You can find us using the handle @GiveRichmond. And also to follow dialogue, not just from us, but from anyone who is participating or supporting the Amazing Race, using the hashtag AMZGRZ, just a shortened version of that Amazing Race phrase. And so we ask you to share and retweet what we're posting, and we'll do the same for you. I think it goes a long way to building the buzz. And it's easily shareable, so that's important. We also encourage you to be creative and use your resources. We've already talked about sharing your good stories with us and with the media. But there are other little things that you may want to consider, such as pop-up giving stations in the neighborhood you serve, or in front of a business that you work with on a regular basis, or in front of your building. Sometimes that physical presence is enough to make that connection for folks. So similarly, you may want to put a sign in front of your office that has the Amazing Race logo and says something like, "We are participating in the Amazing Race," or something like that. Or even something as simple as decorating the steps that lead up to your door with sidewalk chalk. So I guess the point here is to just feel free to be creative and step outside the box a little bit and have fun. So finally, if you have any questions leading up to the event or during, please feel free to contact any one of our Amazing Race team members. We all have a slightly different area of expertise, but any of us would be willing to help you. So here are our emails and our phone number here at the Community Foundation, 804-330-7400. We are so grateful for your participation in the Amazing Raise and everything that you've put into it this year and in years past to make it so successful, not just for your organization, but for the entire nonprofit sector. We wish you great luck during the event with hitting all of your goals. And we obviously hope that you have a great time. Please join us if you can for the kickoff at the 5K on Tuesday the 16th, starting at 6 p.m. Or join us to close it out and celebrate all of the generosity that our community has shown at Hardywood on Thursday the 18th. So thank you again, and we look forward to watching all the donations roll in very soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.